All cats, old enough to catch their own prey, gather here beneath the podcast for a clan meeting. Welcome to Paws Clause, a podcast where we read the Warrior Cats books in chronological order. I'm Jillian, joined by my co-host and hand enthusiast Scout, and today we will be discussing Omen of the Stars, Book 1, The Fourth Apprentice, and the novella Mistystar's Omen. Scout, how are you today?
Being read for filth, thank you, Jillian.
You're so welcome.
I've been talking about hands.
I'm apparently reading people for filth today a lot.
You know, sometimes that's just what happens. I mean, cringe is dead, but I am cringing. I'm not. Cringe is dead. You know what? Cringe is dead. I'm not, no qualifiers. Cringe is dead. I'm still in the yaoi mines. And
hell yeah.
I've been reading a bunch of manga. I haven't only been reading yaoi manga, but I've been reading a bunch of manga, and so much of it, especially the yaoi ones. Now, listeners who've been on the internet for a long time have probably heard the term yaoi hands. I like to think that the genre has evolved past the very scary big giant hands for the most part.
They have, yes.
But there's still there's still a big focus on hands, and a lot of mangaka just draw hands really fucking good, and there's a lot of panels of them, and so sometimes I'll be reading them and my brain just shuts off and it's just like TV static and hands. The hands, the fucking hands, bro. It's a mixture of the intimacy of them and me being an artist and knowing that it's really a skill that you have to build to draw really good hands. So it's the two things stacked on top of each other. Anyway,
for sure.
That's what's going on with me, everybody. How are you, Jill?
I am good.
Back from your big trip?
Fresh off vacation and needing another week to recover.
You always got to have the vacation from vacation.
It's so true.
And sadly, it sounds like you're not really getting that because I hear you have a very busy week.
I do. I have a very busy week because I'm going on another trip this upcoming weekend.
Back to back, baby.
Back to back. Although this upcoming trip is going to be a lot more chill.
That's good.
However, that does mean that I have to adjust my work schedule. And lo and behold, past me has decided that the first week of November is when every single appointment should be. I literally have 4 appointments, and I'm like, gonna see if I can get some of those switched around.
Oh no, all the appointments, the horrors.
Yeah. I've got so many other things going on. And I'm like, I'm supposed to leave on Thursday. Oh, God.
Oh, no. Too many things.
But that also, it does mean that I was like, all right, preemptively, I know I'm not going to have, like, the brain power for D&D this week. So I went ahead and canceled our sessions. But in doing so, I did also raid one of our friends to filth by saying, actually, a couple of our friends, because I originally put it not just for the individual who called me out, but also for one of our other players. I was like, hey, have fun with your extra Dragon Age time, because I was like, I know me, and I know if I have a game get canceled, I'm usually spending that extra time playing video games.
Yeah, that is, it varies for me depending on what my, like, current focus is, but if I have a game canceled, that's special interest time, baby.
Yeah. Well, and I know it just came out, and I may not be a Dragon Age person, but I know the enthusiasm that Dragon Age fans have for their series.
It's been a long time coming, too.
It has been a long time coming, and I also know that getting a nice big RPG that you can kind of just sink a million hours into is, you know, it's a fun thing to do.
It is a fun thing to do. I still got to play Baldur's Gate. I haven't pulled the trigger yet.
One day.
I got to buy it. One day. I haven't been gaming because I've been reading all this
damn dude
fucking manga, dude.
It's fucking wild. Yeah, I've been deep in video game hell lately. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Planet Zoo, which is really scratching the Zoo Tycoon itch.
I love that for you.
And then the Pokemon TCG Pocket game just came out. It's like a mobile version with like a streamlined version of the Pokemon TCG rules. Unfortunately, I am addicted. It's very fun.
The Pokemon TCG is something that has always been like obscured to me. It is not a TCG that I've ever really understood. So that sounds dangerous. I need to probably keep myself away from that.
Yeah, it's very fun. It is getting me like, man, I wish I could play the TCG in real life. But I'm like, no, we can't do that because that's where the danger lies. Because the nice thing about the Pocket game is, like, unlike something like MTG Arena, where you can only play against real people, basically, like, the Pocket Pokemon game has, like, solo runs.
Oh, that's nice.
So, like, you don't have to play against real people, and you don't have to pay for it. You can just kind of get the decks and cards that it gives you, and just kind of chill.
Hell yeah. I love a TCG like that because a lot of times with almost any game, as soon as I enter the world of online PvP, I don't like the game anymore.
Yeah.
It becomes so not fun so fast.
Yeah.
I did my time playing Destiny 2 PvP online and I can't do it anymore. That was I got my lifetime supply playing fucking Gambit. Is that what that mode was called? I think so. Doesn't matter.
But yeah, so been a lot of video games lately. Been fun.
That's fun.
But what's more fun is cats.
I love to talk about cats.
Specifically, really lovely, soft lit cats.
Yes, we have such a beautiful cover today.
Yeah, so let's go talk about how the prey is running. For the cats, it's running very poorly.
It is. It's bad. They're hungry in this book. In both of these.
For us, however, I'm sure it's running a lot better. You had anything good to eat lately, Scout?
Yeah, let's see. What happened? What did I make this week? I made something new. Made a new like one pan chicken dish where it's like pan fried with olives and onions, which I know are two things that I believe you're not huge on. I can't remember if you're an olive person or not.
Oh no, I fucking love olives.
Oh hell yeah. I feel like I have like a 50-50 split on friends who either love or hate olives. I'm an olive enjoyer certified.
Yeah.
So I made that. That was really good. Had it over rice. Made some enchiladas last weekend. Made essentially I suppose it's an enchilada casserole because I wasn't about the life of rolling up the enchiladas. So it's kind of like you use...
I've done that before. Yeah.
The tortillas, as a layer, and then you have it kind of lasagna-esque. So a bit of a bastardized enchilada, but really, really tasty. And I didn't make these, but the other day, my dear mother made, we call them in my house wacky cupcakes. I don't know where that came from. It's a chocolate cupcake with a peanut butter frosting, and it's really good. It's very tasty.
That sounds yummy.
What about you? How's the prey been running?
Oh, the prey was running perhaps too much, because we were on a cruise, and therefore we got to eat as much as we wanted.
Hell yeah.
And we decided to pay a little extra to go to one of the, like, adult-only dining places that was, like, a super nice brunch. I had maybe the best fucking Eggs Benedict I've ever had in my whole life.
Oh, hell yeah.
So good. Also, maybe the best lasagna I've ever had.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy. The menu, I think, was designed by, like, a Michelin star chef or whatever the hell.
That sounds good.
Crazy time. So they gave us, like, charcuterie board to start, and then we got, like, pastries and all these different types of bread and this really fancy balsamic and olive oil.
Oh, I love to dip bread in balsamic and olive oil.
Yeah. Fucking bottomless mimosas for free, by the way. The bottomless mimosas were included in the price.
Wow, damn. They know what they're about. They're like, we're a cruise. We understand what's happening here. Bottomless mimosas, bread, and olive oil.
Yeah. And then I had this, I don't like celery usually, but I had a celery soup.
Oh.
And it had like these little drizzles of this really strong, good olive oil in it.
Ooh.
And then I had a really tasty Parmesan crusted chicken.
Nice.
And that was just one fucking meal, dude.
Damn.
All of that. The Eggs Benedict was one of the appetizers.
The Eggs Benny was the appetizer? Intense.
Yeah, dude.
Intense.
I mean, it was one egg on half of an English muffin, so it wasn't like, wasn't too crazy, but still.
That's true, but
like,
still.
Oh my fucking God. Yeah, just a lot of really good food. Had an excellent steak on the last night. It was like a peppered filet.
Nice.
I love a good steak. And I ate way too much rich food that my body is like, all right, we gotta get a little bit calmer. Maybe stick to some rice and steamed vegetables for a bit. It's like, you have eaten so much that is so intense.
Too many things. We've had too many things that were big. Too many big flavors.
Yeah, a lot of big flavors. It was all delicious, though. I would not change a single thing that I got. Well, no, I would, but that was just one thing that I got that I was like, okay.
You would change a single thing.
A single thing, which, considering how much food I ate, that is
pretty good track record. Yeah,
I would say so. But yeah, let's see here. We got some pretty covers today.
Yeah,
I actually kind of like. Let me look at the one that is on the. It's all right.
It's pretty nice. The original. You've got it looks like the original printing cover. I think that the reprint is also pretty okay as far as the reprint covers go, which has Dovepaw kind of like crouched in a dry grass with dandelions, which looks pretty nice. The original cover also has a Dovepaw like portrait on it, and then just sort of like the lake in the background. That was a little bit odd because it does seem to just have the lake in the background, which the whole point of this book is that the lake is empty.
Yeah, it looks a little too flourishing here.
It does look a little bit too flourishing in the original cover. I do really like the Polish cover, of course. The colors are just gorgeous on this. It's this beautiful sunset, this backlit portrait of Dovepaw with this lovely, really soft lighting, rim lighting on her, and her beautiful big blue-green eyes, and also tiny Dovepaw, all kind of fluffed out, looking at the beaver dam. I love tiny Dovepaw. If you zoom in real far, you can see her. So yeah, I like this Polish cover a lot, and the Polish cover for Mistystar's Omen, also pretty good. I don't quite like this style. It's a lot like sharper, like much more of like a traditional in the sense of like not as in a physical painting, but like if you think of a digital painting, if you envision a digital painting in your head, this has that look, like a very, very crisp digital painting. But it does have, I really like Mistystar's eye color here is really like bright and saturated.
Those fucking James McAvoy blues.
Truly.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, James McAvoy's got crazy blue eyes.
Bright eyes.
I'm looking up a picture of him so that I can remind myself.
Well, especially in X-Men. Like, I think they brightened his eyes for X-Men, if we're being honest. Because they're like...
It's very possible. I mean,
bright.
color correction is... Shout out to color correctors on... in movies. Like, when a movie has really good, like, color design and color correction done to it, that shit rules. And that's what Mistystar looks like here. She's looking at a moth coming out of a chrysalis. But that's just about all I have to say about these two Polish covers. I think that they're pretty nice. But not too many cover, like sometimes we have a bunch of cover variants. This time I didn't find as many for these ones. I suppose we're getting to not necessarily modern, but only like 1 decade instead of 2 decades of like history for these. So probably haven't had as many printings and different editions as some of our other stuff. But yeah, that's what I've got for How's the Prey running. You got anything else?
Not really. Just I like how fluffy Dovepaw is. I just love a good floopy cat.
I love a floofer. I've done a Dovepaw design before, and I love to make her round. So round and fluffy. I like to think that she inherited the floof from White Wing, who of course
White Wing
inherited it from Cloudtail. Yeah,
I 100% agree. Shall we get into it?
Yes, paint me a word picture. Tell me a story.
This is fun fact. Listeners, this is maybe the first time where it's been like a full week since I've read the book.
Oh yeah, because you read it on the boat.
I did not read it on the boat. I did read it on the plane.
Oh, you read it on the plane?
Yes. I was like, I need something on the plane.
Hell yeah.
So I did read the whole book on the plane.
Hell yeah. You're so fast.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Well, it was an hour and a half plane ride.
That's fast. The audiobook is like, start reading the thing and I'll look up how long the audiobook is.
In The Fourth Apprentice, StarClan frets over the prophecy and the realization that Hollyleaf was not one of the three, resolving to send a sign to the third in order to make the connection between them and Jayfeather and Lionblaze easier. Meanwhile, around the lake, there is a horrible drought, leaving much of the lake dried up and the streams running dry as well. RiverClan is especially hit hard due to the lack of fish and demand hunting rights all around the shore. They also take this opportunity to harass cats trying to fetch water for their clan. Dovekit and Ivykit, daughters of Whitewing and Birchfall, become apprentices, with Dovepaw being apprenticed to Lionblaze. The two sisters wish to do everything together, but soon learn that as apprentices they won't be joined at the hip any longer. As Dovepaw trains with Lionblaze, he learns of her unique talent to sense things far beyond her usual sight, and she receives an omen from Yellowfang in her dream. The brothers then realize that Dovepaw is the third cat of the prophecy. With her senses, Dovepaw discovers that the cause of the dry streams is not just the drought. There's also a group of strange brown creatures, beavers, blocking the water flow to the lake from further up the river. By passing off the senses as a dream from StarClan, she's able to convince Firestar to speak to the other leaders, and the clans all send cats to journey upstream to solve the problem. Along the way, Dovepaw befriends Tigerheart of ShadowClan, and the cats slowly learn to work together. They meet a few kitty pets who end up helping them with the beaver dam. The clan cats learn that fighting the beavers is useless, and therefore they must all work together to distract the beavers and destroy the dam from the inside out. On their success, the river is once again flowing, slowly restoring water to the lake. Meanwhile, back home, Jayfeather struggles with Poppy Frost's sadness around her pregnancy and relationship with Berrynose. After she leaves camp, Jayfeather discovers she's gone to the moon pool in hopes of seeing her sister again. When he tries to convince her to come home, the pair are attacked by Breezepelt, who holds a grudge against Jayfeather for being his half-brother. Jayfeather tries to fight him off, but is overpowered by a second cat who mysteriously isn't seen by Poppy Frost. Honeyfern shows up to help, and Breezepelt is chased off, leaving Jayfeather worried about the possibility of the divide between the mortal world and the spirits growing thinner, especially when he later sees Tigerstar and Hawkfrost watching Poppy Frost's newborn kids. In Mistystar's Omen, drought has taken its toll on RiverClan, leading to Leopardstar losing several lives in quick succession. Her latest illness is even worse, and Mistyfoot and Mothwing realize soon that it is the end for the RiverClan leader. After Leopardstar's death, Mistyfoot journeys to gain her 9 lives with Mothwing alongside her, but is confused when Mothwing isn't beside her in her dream. Mothwing reveals then that she does not have a belief in StarClan, which shatters Mistystar's trust in the Medicine Cat. She makes moves to force Mothwing from her role, worried that the lack of belief poses danger for RiverClan. Due to lack of prey, a few of the apprentices have been taking food from Two Legs, and are then trapped by dogs. Reed Whisker, Mistystar's only surviving kit, and her new deputy, is brutally attacked, and the cats rush him back to camp. Willowshine does her best to help him, and Mistystar goes to her den, where the spirit of her brother visits to tell her to trust Mothwing, that she will be able to help Reed Whisker despite her lack of faith. She decides to make up with Mothwing, and the two discuss their faith before agreeing to put the issue behind them.
The audiobook, now I know audiobooks are always going to be longer than reading in your head, almost certainly. But
Right.
still, the audiobook for The Fourth Apprentice is 8 hours.
I have nothing to say. You know?
Now, he does read slow. I listened to a couple of the chapters because I was making dinner. And so sometimes, because I have access to the audiobooks on the devil's streaming platform, Spotify, sometimes if I am doing another task, I will be like, yeah, I'll listen to a couple of the chapters and get some of my podcast stuff done at the same time. I'll talk about it later. There's some voice choices that he makes that just crack me the fuck up. But overall thoughts on these two?
I like Fourth Apprentice a lot more than Mistystar's Omen.
Yeah. I was not moved by Mistystar's Omen.
Yeah.
It was... Fourth Apprentice, I think, is still probably one of the weaker ones of this arc, personally, like remembering, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad book. It's just a little bit less. There's not as much going on here as we are going to be getting to.
Which, you know, it makes sense being the first in the arc. When we're getting, you know, we are getting to know our new, one of our new protagonist characters.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that, like, some of it's going to kind of feel like, okay, we're kind of going over some ground that we're already familiar with, and that's like how any sort of...
Yeah, that's how any arc starts, pretty much with like, here's a little summary of everything that's ever happened. But definitely after the jam-packed stuff that happened in like the last 2 episodes of our podcast,
for sure,
this felt like, even though there was you know, there's the big drought, there's the whole like adventure, there's the introduction of beavers into the cat's like worldview.
Yeah.
Even with all of that stuff, it still felt so much like the stakes felt so much lower than like some of the previous stuff that we've been reading.
Yeah, I agree.
But
well, and I feel like we've been doing a lot more like huge interpersonal stuff.
Yes, this was very this did not have as much interpersonal
classic adventure.
Very classic adventure, which is fun. It's fun to have a classic adventure. And then Mistystar's Omen.
Yeah, we'll talk about Mistystar's Omen.
We'll get there. But first, The Fourth Apprentice.
But first, The Fourth Apprentice.
But first, you say? Sorry, that was stupid.
That
was so stupid. I don't know why I did that.
Oh my god. So I think it's interesting to note that in the prologue, we get this little, we get some more information that the prophecy isn't even from StarClan, which I think has kind of been hinted at before.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it from?
I don't know. They don't say, do they?
They're just kind of like, how do you know that there's a prophecy if StarClan isn't the one that made it? Kind of thing. It's very confusing to me, and I hope that maybe one day we'll get some information. I doubt it.
I think there might be information later on where this prophecy came from, but I don't remember clearly enough to be able to say one way or the other.
Yeah, because, like, it could be implied that it's from SkyClan's ancestors, but, like, it also feels like...
Right, because the SkyClan cat was the one that originally gave it to Firestar.
But it also feels like StarClan has been, like, waiting for this.
Yes.
Like, for a long time. And I'm pretty sure... Did Goosefeather hear this one as well?
Ooh, let me go check the documents.
Assuming that it is not from StarClan and it is not from SkyClan's ancestors, but instead from elsewhere. I do think, kind of remembering way back when we were talking, you were kind of theorizing a long time ago about how it seems like the books have been kind of slowly inching towards StarClan having less and less power. And I feel like whether it's intentional or not by the authors, I feel like this does kind of support that theory that like the cat's ancestors are having less and less influence on the world, despite the fact that clearly they are able to interact more physically with the world in this book. It seems like StarClan is having less and less ability to like be omniscient or omnipresent even.
And I think that there's also kind of a implied lessening of their power as the Dark Forest also grows stronger, I feel like.
Yes. As the Dark Forest and the Three grow stronger, I feel like it is very much like, they're almost kind of like balancing out the way that power is distributed in the world. Which I think is interesting.
Yeah.
And I do think further, the way that StarClan is clearly having less power, and this is being very interpretive rather than like, I think this was on purpose. This is more me supporting my own headcanons. They're over here like, we all grieve for Hollyleaf. Like, bitch, she's not dead.
She's not dead. I mean, I suppose they
would know that.
I suppose maybe they're trying to be vague about it.
Yeah, I guess, but like, come on.
Yeah. Okay, I have checked the tapes real quick.
Okay,
I've checked the tapes. Goosefeather did not get the 3 prophecy.
Okay, interesting.
Which is very interesting to me.
When did Goosefeather's curse come out?
Oh shit, I just closed the tab. Hold on.
No, it's fine, I'm looking it up. Goosefeather's curse came out 2015. Okay, so
it was after
existed
this. Yeah.
Okay, just curious. The other thing that I think the Hollyleaf thing, this is what it supports in my opinion, because I've spent a lot of time since us reading Hollyleaf's
story.
Hollyleaf's
story.
I forgot it was just such a simple word as story. I thought it was something big. I've spent a lot of time thinking about Hollyleaf since then, clearly. Having, in the year of our Lord 2024, I have written Warriors fanfiction again, just because I need to process Hollyleaf. My vibe, and this kind of goes with a lot of like what I was kind of questioning with in the last episode. Sorry to go on a tangent here.
No, do it.
I kind of feel like the reason she is able to interact so physically with Fallen Leaves is that Hollyleaf herself is perhaps sort of in a half-dead state. Like, she's kind of in between death and life while she's in the tunnels.
I like that. That's fun.
And I feel like that kind of is supported by the fact that they're like, yeah, it's such a shame that Hollyleaf is dead kind of thing. Like, yeah, maybe she is sort of dead, but also sort of alive, and therefore StarClan can't really, like, tell.
It could also...
That's just me interpreting things so that I can have my fun little headcanon.
I love your fun little headcanons. I was going to say just that it could be something like the proximity to the tunnels, whether she is half dead or not. Maybe it is something like in the same way that Fallen Leaves is cut off from like the rest of his ancestors. Maybe it's something about like the tunnels themselves that kind of are like a Faraday cage for StarClan.
Yeah, I was just about to say the same thing. So yes, we are on the same wavelength.
I like this theory though.
So yeah, just wanted to chat about my feelings about this prologue.
It's an interesting prologue.
It is.
I always like seeing when StarClan is kind of floundering, and this definitely felt like StarClan was floundering in some ways. I wanted to point out there's a moment where Feathertail appears and she talks about wanting to look out for Jayfeather and Lionblaze, and this hit really good for me considering that she was at their birth. So I just really liked the idea of her being like, I want to watch out for, my kind of surrogate kids out there.
Yeah.
And also it did kill me that there was a series title drop in the prologue. That fucking cracked me up.
Now, this is an unpopular opinion because I see here that you say later, this is such a banger way to end a chapter for something that I thought was incredibly cringe.
Yeah.
There's some dialogue choices in this book that feel like they are trying to court the audience. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think I understand what you mean. They're trying to it's a little bit like pushing the self-referentiality, right?
Pushing the self-referentiality, pushing sort of some dialogue choices to kind of make them sound more like human preteens.
Oh, interesting.
Rather than cat.
Could be. I do feel like maybe we're also seeing the influence of the beginnings of the Marvelification of media.
Yeah.
This was 2009, so I guess it was still a little early for that. But we've talked a little bit about quippiness, I think.
Yes, the quippiness is, I think, what I'm specifically talking about.
There is definitely some quippiness happening here. I thought the series title drop in the prologue was heavy-handed, but I did later which I put here. There's a moment where Jay Feather ends a chapter, they're talking, Jay Feather and Lion Blaze are talking to Dovepaw and introducing her to the prophecy and everything. And I think it's the way that it's very offhanded for Jay Feather, that he's in the middle of saying another thing and he's like, oh, and welcome to the three. And is it cringe? Yes, I think you're right. It is cringe, but it's also kind of okay, yeah, hell yeah. We're there. We're in this heightened mode. We are in this extremely, this is soap operas to me. And I think that's kind of fun. But no, you drag my ass. It's cringe. You're right. Come for me.
I'm not coming for you. I'm simply saying that some of the dialogue choices in this book had me rolling my eyes.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. That's all I'm saying. Whatever. It's fine. Which one of these fools wrote this one? Cherith. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so, not reading the allegiances before, reading the book kind of bit me in the ass for this one, because I immediately was like, hey, what the fuck happened to Leaf Pool? Because
yes!
I thought she was fucking dead for a second, and then I'm like, oh no, wait, she became a warrior, but also what the fuck?
She did say at the end of the previous book, it was just she said, I will retire from being a medicine cat, I think, at that gathering.
I think it was more of a, if that's what you guys want, I'll do that, but that is also, I could be misremembering. But yeah, so I was definitely oh, some stuff's going on, and I was like, I gotta go back and check this shit, because, what the fuck? I feel like in the beginning we get a lot of some really good layout of hey, here's how things have changed in the 6 months since the last book.
Yeah, Grandma I did Claw like that.
Fucking hates squirrel flight now. Longtail and Mousefur get a nice little moment where Longtail is constantly going without food and water so that Mousefur can have enough, and I'm like, I'm going to absolutely bawl.
I know.
Stop this.
I love the old married couple and their annoying neighbor, which is Purdy.
Yes. Oh my god. Purdy is really I literally put it in my notes. I was like, Purdy's really serving Peepaw in this book.
He's so Peepaw. All he does is say, back in my day,
my day.
I haven't told you that story about the fox that was really mad.
It's okay, Grandpa.
All right, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
Let's get you to bed.
Funny. It's so funny.
It really is. It's so silly and so funny.
Exactly. He's perfect just the way he is.
He's perfect just the way he is. But yes, they get some nice moments. Berrynose and Poppy Frost, I do want to talk about.
Yeah. Tell me your thoughts.
I was like, because they don't mention the fact that, like, it's weird that Poppy Frost was Honeyfern's sister until later on.
Mm-hmm.
So at first I was like, am I gaslighting myself and thinking that they were sisters, but I'm not remembering correctly? And I was like, that's so fucking weird of you, dude. Like, I don't blame Poppy Frost for feeling like, oh my god, Berrynose doesn't love me. He's just with me because he misses my sister.
Yeah.
It's like, I genuinely, girl, I don't blame you for that. Because also, Berrynose is fucking annoying. So
he is. I always want to be in Berrynose's court. There's something about Berrynose where I'm always like, man, I really want, like, I want to like Berrynose. And every time he makes it so hard to like him.
Yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I was like, hang on a second.
It's weird.
It's not been that long.
No, I mean, 6 months ain't that long. It's basically been 6 months.
Essentially, yeah.
And she's pregnant already, like...
Yeah. Pregnant already and close to moving into the nursery.
Yes, though he does force her to move in early because he's worried
about her safety.
He's worried about her because of everything that happened with Honeyfern, and I get that, but also it's giving misogynist so bad.
Exactly.
It's so rough.
And like, no wonder Poppy Frost is over here like, he doesn't love me, he doesn't want to see me. That's why he moved me into the nursery so soon, is so that like he doesn't have to see me walking around camp. And I'm like, girl, here's the thing. I mean, I guess she does mention, like, I had a crush on him because, like, all of the fucking female apprentices except... Everybody
fucking loves Berrynose except us as readers.
Well,
I was just gonna say the POV characters tend to not like him too.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think Cinderheart or Hollyleaf had any affection towards him. But that's because they're lesbians. Said what I said. Cinderheart mentions missing Hollyleaf a lot. So.
Oh god, that part fucking killed me.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, so just Berrynose drives me fucking insane. I don't like him. He's just annoying. He doesn't add anything to the story for me.
He doesn't. It's so, I always want, there's something about him that I'm always like, I think because of the whole thing where like he's Brambleclaw's apprentice and I really like Brambleclaw a lot. So I'm always like trying to be in Berrynose's corner, and every time he makes it so hard, like, I'm coming to bat for you, dude, and you are fucking sending me nothing. You are giving nothing to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean,
wild.
It's an interesting choice. I think in the end, like, after reading at the start of the book, I was like, that's a kind of really weird choice to make. But I think by the end of the book, I like really came around to the idea of Poppy Frost and Berrynose like being together. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of like, seems a little soon, huh? Sisters,
a little bit.
Not even. Yeah, your sister's barely dead. Like, okay, but yeah,
I do
some notes on the beginning of life in ThunderClan as we're picking in here.
I do think I really like Poppy Frost's side of that whole story.
Yes.
Like, Berrynose drives me up the wall, but hearing
for sure,
like all this stuff with Poppy Frost and like all of her fears that she's having, and like getting this backstory, this history of like, I really liked, I always liked Berrynose, and Honeyfern always liked Berrynose, and I backed off because I wanted my sister to be with Berrynose. And her having all these really complicated feelings about it is really good. Like, she had so many complex and interesting feelings, which is, it's nice sometimes when you have a female character who has a lot of complex thoughts and a lot of depth about something, and then her boyfriend is extremely shallow. Maybe this is maybe this is equality.
You heard it here first, folks. No, and I think that's exactly what I'm feeling is like seeing Poppy Frost's side really brought me like more like on the side of this relationship existing, whereas like looking at it from the beginning where it's just like Barry knows being a raging misogynist.
And it really does it really does feel in the beginning like Barry Nose is just
very
like
much
finding another Honey Fern, right? Like this is my replacement for Honey Fern.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, just some setup for ThunderClan.
Good ThunderClan setup, yeah.
Good ThunderClan setup, yeah.
We get introduced to Dovepaw.
I love Dovepaw.
I'm so glad because I love her so much, and I was really worried that you wouldn't like her. I don't know why.
Oh my
I was
God,
just
why?
Like, I don't know. I was just worried that I was worried that she might be too because she's hitting like all of my burdened by responsibility pins, and so I was like, maybe this is actually annoying, and it's just that I have a very specific character type that I like. But no, I'm so glad.
I think I like how she is very much like approaching this. She's a foil to Hollyleaf, and I really enjoy that because she's over here like, I don't fucking want these powers. I just want to be with my sister. I don't want to fucking deal with this shit. I just want to be normal. And Hollyleaf over there was like, oh, hell yeah. We're going to get powers? This is sick. What do you mean I don't get powers? What do you mean I'm normal? I don't want this. So I feel like she's very much the inverse of Hollyleaf, and I think she's very fun.
Yes.
I also think... Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that it's also a really fun contrast to the way that Jayfeather and Lion Blaze act about their powers.
Yes, I agree. Especially contrasting to Lion. Because, like, Jayfeather had the, like, well, I'd rather see than have these powers originally. And then he kind of came around to it. Whereas Lion Blaze, like, as soon as he found out he can't be hurt in battle, he's like, fuck yeah, dude.
I'm so strong.
I'm fucking strong. So I feel like she is kind of like that opposite end of him, which is fun having her be mentored by him. Yeah. Also, this is not a hot take, I don't think. I feel like I've seen this mentioned before. I get the most fucking autistic vibes from Dovepaw.
Oh, yes!
This cat.
Wow!
This cat is so autistic.
She is. You're so
genuinely, right. I adore her. I think, like, the reveal of the way she's like, what do you mean nobody else knows about the brown creatures? I thought everybody was just I thought it was just like a thing nobody talks about.
It's so, like, I really, really love the way that her powers are, like, slow rolled. Yeah. I think it's written really well. I think it's such a fun, like, parallel to Jayfeather's blindness in the beginning of Power of Three. And I just am so charmed by the way that we, like, get it in little bits that, like, at first it's just like, oh, she's like talking about being able to see a Shadow Clan patrol. That seems like it's really far away, but I guess it's just, the way that they're by the lake, and then it kind of becomes this bigger and bigger snowball that I think is so fun.
Yeah, and I really think it is a fun thing too, where she's like, I thought everybody could do this.
Yes, like, I think that's such a fun angle to take, that she just thinks that everybody's like this.
With the, like, we're cats, we have really good senses. Like, what do you mean you can't hear clear across the forest? So I think it was just a lot of fun, like, rolling that out. I agree. And I just really like her ability. I think it is a fun... I think it is similar-ish to Jayfeather's, but it is more of a hindrance at times, because we have that moment where they're going to, like, place, and she's, like, so overwhelmed by all of the, like, different sounds and things that she can see far away and up close, and she just kind of can't handle that.
Yeah, she gets sensory overload.
Yeah, and that's when I wrote in my notes, Dovepaw autism moment.
Autism moment, for real.
But yeah, I think it's a really fun ability that, like, has unexpected drawbacks and is therefore different enough from Jayfeather's ability to kind of, like, be reasonable as the power.
Yeah, I think it's really fun. I do really love how there is, even just in this first book, a lot of legwork done with, like, what her limitations with it are and how it can help and hinder, and also the ways that she feels really responsible because she has it. You know, she feels like she has a responsibility to use it if she has it, and also she's like, I really wished that I actually wasn't like this. I would love it if I didn't have to think about this.
Yeah.
Which I get.
Oh, I did write down Barry Knows Giving Men's Right activist. Sorry. That was on a different page. It was later in the book, but it was Barry Paw Giving Men's Rights activist. And I don't remember exactly why I wrote that down, but like...
Probably because he told his wife to go home and go and be in the nursery.
Yeah.
And that she couldn't take a walk.
Ridiculous. Can we talk about Lion Blaze for a second?
Yeah, let's talk about Lion Blaze.
Because as we are aware, I don't care too much for Lion Blaze.
I don't care for Lion Blaze.
I don't care for Lion Blaze. I love all of the three equally. I don't care for Lion Blaze. He's a little better. He's still annoying to me.
He's absolutely still annoying in this book.
Especially when he legitimately at one point says, I wish I were normal. When the fuck did you ever wish that,
When have you ever wished you were normal? Never. Never in your life have you wished you were normal. Stop lying.
This dude, it's like they completely forgot who he is sometimes. Which I feel like they also did with Jayfeather, because all of a sudden, now that he is the main medicine cat, he's completely incapable. There's like... There's so many moments where he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, okay, you do though.
Yeah, I think there was clunky writing there, but I think I enjoy the concept being that he feels overwhelmed by now being the only medicine cat and not having like Leafpool to like consult with.
No, I agree. And I think like it just, to me, it read more of like him being less confident in himself and less sure of his own abilities rather than like feeling overwhelmed. It felt more like him not knowing what to do rather than like, I just need another set of hands around here.
Yeah, I agree that I didn't think that was the cleanest writing. I think I understood what they were going for, but I agree that it wasn't the cleanest characterization we've had for Jayfeather.
Yeah.
I really can't believe Hollyleaf is somehow the one that is the most mature about about the lies that their parents told.
Like, for real. She had her one freak out moment, and then she's fine. Meanwhile, these two bozos.
6 months, and you're still like, I can't even fucking look at my dad.
Look at her.
I can't look at my mom.
Look at my mom.
Seeing Leafpool makes me fucking sick. Oh my god, guys.
Like, calm down.
It's so much. Yeah. But yes, I agree on your points on Lion Blaze. There's still so many moments where he's annoying in this one. And what makes me so crazy is that he does genuinely seem to be a good supportive mentor to Dovepaw throughout this whole book, which is why it drives me so much like matter that he's still really annoying at other moments. It's like, come on, dude, you've got the juice. You've got it in you.
Yeah.
Especially the stuff with his family. He's still just so miserable. I hope that I think we continue to get more growth from him from what I'm remembering. So I hope that that's the case.
Yeah. Also, there's a moment where I think it's Dovepaw when they're trying to tell her, yeah, you're one of the three. And she's like, Firestar has loads of kin in ThunderClan. Bitch, where? He very much does not.
I think, at this point, she and Ivy Paw are the only, like, kin of kin that are left, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess because I'm thinking about, like, later, it's like, okay, everybody is fucking related to Firestar because of all of the various children that have been had.
Right.
But at this point, I don't know what she's talking about.
Yeah. It just kind of cracked me up a little bit.
That is funny.
Being like, okay,
If I were her and I was in that situation, I would probably be trying to make excuses or figure out a way that it might not be true too.
But it's just funny being like, he does not.
Patently untrue. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Completely incorrect. Anyway.
I was really excited when we got a stick mention near the beginning of the book.
Hell yeah.
I was really excited when we got agriculture mention. This is the point.
Yes.
We have reached it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, agriculture. We get Jay Feather talking about that he is specifically tending to the garden in the old two-leg house that is on ThunderClan territory. Talks about that. That's only going to continue to grow. I think about it so much that he has a full-on garden.
I love that.
And I had forgotten that he breaks up with the stick in this book as well.
Literal breakup.
Literal breakup.
He snaps that thing in twain.
Fucking snaps it.
He's done with their shit.
He's so mad.
Honestly, Jay Feather has every right to be pissed off in this book.
Oh yeah.
Especially after fucking Breeze Pelt attacks him.
Yo,
and tries to kill Poppy Frost for like existing.
That shit's insane. That shit was crazy. I cannot believe whatever the hell Breeze Pelt is on.
The way he's literally like, yeah, I'll kill Poppy Frost because she's just got more kids that shouldn't be born. Like whoa.
Dude.
Calm the fuck down.
We need to back up a couple of steps.
The fuck up. No, I put Breeze Pelt in his bitch era. Like, I'm sick of this man. I don't like him.
He truly, he's mask off in this one, for real. I had forgotten how, like, immediate it is. I can't believe.
It's so wild, too, that, like, in Outcast, they were, like, at least making a half-hearted effort to, like, chat with him.
Yeah, they were, like, kind of, goofing off together.
He's just, like, he is so pissed that he has siblings. He's like, you've ruined my life by existing.
Like, dude.
It's like, dude, your beef is not with Jay Feather.
I am so... We're going to get to it at the end of this season. Crowfeather's trial. I want to see if we find out, like, what the fuck is going on in WindClan's camp at this time that is making, like, is Breeze Pelt's life actually hell? Or is he just, like, I'm sure part of it is Dark Forest influence, obviously, because we see him fight with who we find out is Broken Star later.
Right. But, like, it's still just... It's like, dude, what is gonna drive you to, like, literally just threaten to murder an innocent woman and her unborn children?
It's crazy.
She has not, like, done anything.
She simply took a walk.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Wild. Jay Feather also
like,
had...
What did he think would happen? Like... Jay Feather smelled him. Like, someone's gonna know that you're the one who fucking killed. If you had gotten away with it, like, someone would know.
Yeah, how not thinking about the consequences of his actions.
Absolutely not.
At one point, Jay Feather says, "Sometimes I feel as old as rock." I feel that, dude. Sometimes I too feel like an ancient spirit, a timeless spirit living in a cave.
Honestly, same.
So real, millennial icon, Jay Feather.
I want to give a shout out to a character that I was surprised stole my heart.
Ooh,
Tigerheart.
Tigerheart. I love Tigerheart.
God, he's adorable. I just want to give him a little snuggle. He's so cute.
He's just such a nice guy. He's like the most well-adjusted Tiger Star descendant that we've met.
Truly.
Like, he's just like as happy-go-lucky. He's really excited to be on the adventure. He's really cute in the way he keeps trying to be like, Dovepaw, it's okay. I'll protect you. And Dovepaw's like, I can protect myself. And he's like, it's okay, Dovepaw. I got this.
And it's never in a, like, dismissive, like, I'm better than you kind of thing. It's always very much like he's so trying to impress her.
He's just really earnest about it. I love him.
So cute. I really hope we get. I know we will get more of him because I know of one thing about him, but like, oh, he's so cute.
He's great. He's so great. Fun. He's truly a breath of fresh air when it comes to like the Tiger Star line. You know what I mean?
Well, and even like
and Shadow Clan cats in general, honestly.
Oh, for sure. Well, and even when it comes to like Lion Blaze and Jayfeather and Dovepaw are all like burdened with glorious purpose. Mm-hmm. And so here we have like just a fun dude, just a happy guy. Dude. He's just happy to be around.
Look at my happy guy. Happy guy.
I just feel like he deserves the best, and
he does.
I'm blowing him a little kiss.
I love that. I'm so happy. This arc definitely has some of like my blorbitos that you have never met before, so it's very exciting for me to. I'm just like sitting here with my chin in my hands, like you're meeting all my little guys. Like yes, Jill likes Tigerheart. Jill likes Dovepaw. Jill likes my friends.
Yay!
I'd love to give a shout out to Brightheart. Once again, she is like MVP of this book for poor Jayfeather, who, like I said, is going through it and struggling with. I was reading it very much as just like struggling with all of the responsibility and feeling overwhelmed by all the stuff that he had to do as the now being the only medicine cat because of Leaf Pool's, retiring and becoming a warrior. She is out here always noticing when Jayfeather is overwhelmed and like volunteering to help him with stuff like collecting herbs. She supports him when his half brother hate crimes him. She's so good. I love Brightheart so much. She does so much for this clan, and it's wild that she never gets another apprentice. I truly thought that she did, and I keep like going and looking at her wiki page and being like, I thought that she got another apprentice, but apparently no.
Told you.
It's untenable.
We'll never forgive Firestar for that.
Firestar.
How could you?
How could you do that?
My only other note for this book was, well, there's one note about how Dustpelt and Furred Cloud just give off the biggest married vibes.
They're so married.
They're great. I love them.
I love them.
But my note is, how many fucking times are we going to get cats from other clans working together and realizing that they can work together before anything changes?
It's so funny. How do they do this every time?
Every time. We're like, wow, it's almost like we're all cats and we all like have our own strengths, but like we can work together when things get down to it. Anyway, time to kill each other again.
Truly.
Which, like, yes, there is going to, like, I would not want there to be just one big clan. I think it's very fun to have the, like, interpersonal drama. But when it comes to things that are outside of the clan's control, like, I don't know, a drought and the water going away, like, hey, maybe instead of trying to kill each other over it, because that's not going to solve the problem, maybe we think about working together in the first place instead of being bitches.
Yeah, River Clan really makes some choices in this one.
Some big River Clan L's in this one. Big River Clan L's.
When poor Ivy Paw like sniffs a dying fish and Rainstorm
it's rotted
is
too.
Like, I know, and Rainstorm is like, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And almost dies because of it.
He's not even in the allegiances.
Fail King. Like, what the fuck? God.
I think I double checked. Yeah, he's not even in the...
That's so funny. They were just like, we're going to invent a guy. Erin said, we're going to invent a guy that is so pathetic.
Yeah.
Derogatory. Let's see. I've got just a couple more things. One is I do want to touch on that I listened to the audiobook for chapter 17 through chapter 20. And AJ, I would love it if you could drop a clip in here of McLeod Andrews' Jayfeather voice. It's so funny, and I cannot believe that he like backed himself into a corner by doing that voice when Jayfeather was a kid, and now he's like stuck with this voice that he does for Jayfeather, and I can't.
Carry it off, Jayfeather erupted from the undergrowth, a bundle of herbs in his jaws.
Hey, that's mine,
he protested, spitting leaves everywhere.
Put it back.
Are you mouse-brained? Thornclaw mumbled around the stick. I need it. It's only a stick.
It's my stick.
Dovepaw was startled to see how worked up Jayfeather was, his eyes blazing and his neck fur bristling as if he was facing an enemy.
If you don't bring it back in one piece, I'll...
Okay, I'll bring back your stupid stick.
Oh no.
It's just like this reedy little, like, it's so funny.
Oh boy. I do have one other thing. This is just about my specific copy of the book.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought this one secondhand, and whoever owned it before me, did use it to not only keep track of all of the books they read, so they crossed out the ones that they either read or owned or whatever in the, like, list of all the books at the beginning.
Oh.
But they also kept track of I'm assuming who they and their friends were all role-playing.
Yes!
Because every clan has a couple of cats where somebody's name is written next to it.
Yes!
I just think that's fun.
That's the best.
They also corrected Squirrelflight's allegiances entry to add with one white paw, because that's very important.
It is important.
It is very important. So yeah, I think that's really funny, like a fun thing to see. Just like,
I love that.
This person who owned it having listed out who they're all role playing. I just think that's really cute.
It's very pure and good. I love it. I have just one more note, and that is about a comment that Rock makes, which is basically you couldn't know the truth about your birth because that would mean that the prophecy could not be fulfilled. It just asks a lot of questions that I cannot answer about what a prophecy is.
Yeah, and like, it's not like they're not kin of
Firestar's kin. They're still kin of Firestar's kin.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, what does that mean? Like, I don't know. It's just something that I've been chewing on.
It doesn't make sense to me.
That Rock said, like, what do you... I think it was Rock. It might have been somebody in StarClan, but I think it was Rock. Because I think it was during the breakup. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean having... If it's a prophecy, then it's prophesied. And so...
It can't
additional
change.
Knowledge shouldn't change it. So what do we mean? What are we saying? Anyway, I just kept thinking about that. You ready to move on to Mistystar's Omen?
Yeah, I don't have much to say about it, but let's dive in.
I don't think the Erins properly referenced a single previously established detail in this novella.
I don't think so either, because that's literally all I took notes on.
I can't believe
and
how
you know
many
what?
things they got wrong.
This is what I said. This is what happens when we focus too much on ThunderClan. Is like, you get all this fucking wild inconsistencies in these when you try and do anything in another clan.
You're so right. Oh my god, yeah.
And it's like, okay, I would like it if we could do something in another clan, but not if we're gonna be so fucking, like, inconsistent. So, Icewing, first of all, they're like, yes, Icewing just got back from the trip to the Beaver Dam. No, the fuck they did not.
Incredibly loud, incorrect buzzer. No, she did not. They get Mothwing's eye color wrong the entire time.
Of course, naturally. I feel like Mothwing and Dovepaw always get their eye colors done wrong.
It's true.
Okay, here is my big issue, and this is the one that, like, I was in the hotel room because I was reading Mistystar's Omen in the hotel room the day before, or the day we were leaving, because I did not have time to read that one on the plane as well. So I was reading it in the hotel room, and everyone was teasing me because I was all of a sudden, like, instead of just casually, like, chilling in the chair reading, I, like, picked up my phone and my notebook, and I, like, turned to go to the desk and scribble this down because I had to research this because it was, like, driving me crazy. All right. Pouncetail is an elder, correct?
According to this book.
According to this book. Pouncetail was also like, yes, I remember Stonefur well. Pouncetail was not even alive when Stonefur was alive. Pouncetail was, in fact, mentored by Reed Whisker, who is Mistystar's kid. So why are you reacting like he's the same age as Mistystar? Make it make fucking sense. That pissed me off so bad that I just did not care about the rest of the book. I'm not even kidding. I was just, like, so upset.
He was introduced as an apprentice in the site.
Yeah.
Which is only 6 months ago.
He was born and raised around the lake.
He's the same age as Jay Feather and Lion Blaze, basically.
Yeah, that shit drove me absolutely up the wall.
That is
and
just
so that's the moment I stopped taking notes, because I was like, I'm just gonna finish this because I can't take any of this seriously anymore. And that is a very harsh read, but that's not even the only issue that they the only inconsistency that we had there. So that's kind of what pissed me off. Is just the absolute lack of care for the world in this one just pissed me off.
It's really rough. I sent you a list of it's crazy how long the list of mistakes is.
The book.
Some of the highlights here is Tiger Star is mistakenly said to have died in the battle with Blood Clan despite dying days before. They say that Blue Star revealed to Mistyfoot and Stonefur that she was their mother just before she died, even though Fireheart revealed that way earlier. Mistystar says that she didn't know Oakheart was her father until after Blue Star's death, but she is the one who revealed to Fireheart that Oakheart was her father in Forest of Secrets. Just stuff like that. And it's just, if you're gonna make, I think this also plays into the big issue I had with this novella in general, which was that I didn't feel like Mistystar was a character at all.
No, and I was so excited because I love Mistystar.
I know, they're really, it felt like she was just a vessel for the story they were telling, but the story they were telling wasn't even good, and it was a story that we've done already. It was just Mothwing is an atheist again, and we've already gone over Mothwing being an atheist 2 separate times, because we did it with Leafpool and with Jay Feather, and now we're doing it again.
Yeah, and it felt, I don't know, it just didn't feel, it felt like Mistystar was so inconsistent about her feelings about it too. It just didn't. It just didn't feel well done.
Even the fact that they kept that at one point, Mistystar was like, "Mothwing is my best friend." I'm like, when? Since
when? No, literally, I had the same thing. I was like, best friend? Since when? When did you guys become?
When did you guys? When did you guys become?
I don't remember that. Yeah. The other thing, I do want to give it credit though. There is a really good quote in here. A nice metaphor. Scorched by the love of a mother. That's such a real and raw thing. It's damn, yeah, I felt that.
That was a raw line. That was a raw ass line.
I'm like, why do we get a raw ass line like that in this fucking book?
I really, it opened really strongly, I think, with the scene between Mistyfoot and Leopardstar, and the Leopard Star apologizing again for everything that happened with Blood Clan or with Tiger Clan, and then subsequently also with Blood Clan, but all of that, and say Leopard Star being I never had kits, but if I had, I would have really liked to have a daughter like you, is damn, okay, yeah, that hits pretty good. And then the rest of it was just nothing, which was really disappointing.
Yeah. And I'm a huge fan of 9 Live ceremonies. I've even felt hers was pretty average.
Yeah, it didn't I wrote down
particularly thrilling.
I wrote down all of the lives that she was given, but it wasn't there wasn't any kind of deep connection really to any of the characters that we saw her meet. There wasn't there just didn't feel like there was any emotion behind anything in this novella, which was really weird. It just felt very empty. The whole thing felt very dry. The fact that we have Mistystar here reuniting with the 3 out of her 4 kits who died as children should be hitting really hard, but it doesn't hit hard because we don't really have a history of, we've just found out basically in this novella that's what happened to them.
Yeah, exactly. We don't have a lot of the intimate history of anything that really has to do with Mistyfoot except for Stonefur and Blue Star.
Yeah, and we sure did get a lot of mileage out of Stonefur's death yet again.
I know. StarClan, stop pulling him out to guilt your leaders challenge.
Never. Yeah, I think that's everything I got to say about it. Not a huge fan of this one. Too bad.
Yeah, it's a shame, honestly. But
Feels
sometimes,
feels like a lot of wasted potential.
It really feels like the novellas are either like the novellas feel very hit or miss.
It's extremely like either a novella is incredible or it is miserable.
Exactly.
There's two types of Warrior Cats novella.
Yeah, inside of you are two Warrior Cats novellas.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about all I have to say on this one.
Wild too that this is the second one that was ever written.
Right, because like fucking Hollyleaf's story was the
first. Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, we can kind of coast on.
Like, it's really interesting. I keep looking for my brain constantly trying to recognize patterns. So
right.
I'm always looking for patterns in the quality of Warrior Cats content. In like, is it a time frame thing? Is it which Erin was writing it? Is it when within the timeline like they were written? And it's not consistent. It's not like everything that was written earlier is stronger, and like the later you get, the loosey-goosier it is. Like, it's nothing like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to do with which Erin it is. Each Erin has done things that are incredible and things that are not good at all. And it's so fascinating that there's no, like, I can't find a pattern. There's no pattern.
Yeah. I feel like I really am like, I want to make a spreadsheet to like genuinely like have it all laid out in one spot to see that. But like, just based on what we've seen so far, like, no, I agree. It's not consistent and it's so weird.
It's really interesting. Speaking of the Erins, should I take us to the Erin Corner?
Yeah, take us on down.
I don't have much. I have like two things about the Fourth Apprentice today. One is that the Fourth Apprentice, the name the Fourth Apprentice, is a reference to the Three Musketeers, and I hope I say this right, D'Artagnan.
I've always heard it as D'Artagnan, but I also butcher the French language, so who knows?
I looked up a pronunciation guide earlier, and I think the pronunciation was like D'Artagnan. But yeah, I had also heard it as D'Artagnan before. I don't know anything about the Three Musketeers, but I always like when they reference things. So I thought this was fun, and it was fun that it was something that a reader like wrote in and asked, like, oh, is the Fourth Apprentice a reference to the three? And it sounds like D'Artagnan, and Vicky was like, yes, thank you for spotting the Three Musketeers reference. I thought it was cute that she was like, you got it!
I also don't know much about the Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it's not something that I've ever dived into. The most experience I have with it is the Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance Mickey Mouse Three Musketeers world, which I don't think is very literary accurate.
Oh my fucking god. No, it's completely accurate. Mickey Mouse was there, and so was Sora, and
Mickey Mouse was there with my friend Sora.
And Riku, and
they all
of their
had
swords
Pokemon?
were Keyblades. Yeah, they all had Pokemon. I studied
because that was the game where they had Pokemon.
I studied classical literature. You can trust me.
Oh man. So there's that, and just the other thing I found was that the Fourth Apprentice was originally going to be the name of this arc. I don't know exactly when, but I guess it was pretty close to publication where they changed it to Omen of the Stars being the name of the arc and the Fourth Apprentice being the name of this book. I think Omen of the Stars is probably stronger for an arc title. It's one of the ones that I'm always forgetting. Like, it is very generic, but the Fourth Apprentice I don't think would be a particularly good name for an arc. So I think it was probably the right choice. And that's all I could find for the Erin Corner today.
I actually disagree. I kind of like the Fourth Apprentice as an arc title. Just because I'm not a fan of Omen of the Stars as a title. I just think it's I feel like it's vague.
It is. It's extremely vague, and that's why I'm always forgetting it. That's like, this is this is the arc that I'm constantly forgetting the name of it.
Yeah, I do think the Fourth Apprentice is stronger as a name, but I can definitely see why they would change it.
Mm-hmm. I think the Fourth Apprentice, it works really well as a title for this book because I think it will eventually become not relevant enough to the overarching story for it to like hold up for the whole arc. But I agree that I'm not huge on the name Omen of the Stars.
Yeah,
you take me to Sharing Tongues.
Well, there's not a ton here either. There are 15 works for the Fourth Apprentice, including an AU where Ivy Paw becomes a medicine cat apprentice.
That's fun.
Mistystar's Omen isn't even a tag.
Damn, fucking get their ass.
Do you know how bad,
how bad something has to be?
See, this is the thing. So that's the thing is, like, most of them at least have it as an option for being tagged. When I searched Mistystar's Omen, it literally just showed up with one of the apprentices and then Mistystar's Omen in parentheses next to it. So, like, referring to one of the apprentices from the book. So the character was written about more than the book. Mistystar and Mothwing have 5 fics where their relationship, their like friendship is mentioned or like is tagged as like a part of the of the story, but they all seem to be for like older arcs.
Interesting. Sorry, I started clicking and opening these memes.
No, you're so good. I'm literally over here like, thank God we get memes again. Like, I love all of the character designs, but it's so much harder to like talk about them on a podcast. So this one that I found, first one that I have here is that one meme of, is that Kevin Hart?
I think it's Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart, like, hanging on to the one, like, fucking Scooby-Doo style, and she's pointing at the white lady, and it's... the white lady is the rest of the dumbass clan dying of dehydration. Lion Blaze is pointing, and Dove Pond literally just chilling is in the place of Kevin Hart. If I got any of that incorrect, like, please tell me, because I always see that meme and it cracks me up, but I have no idea the context.
Yeah, I don't know what it's from, but it is always a great one. I also love when people redraw it, like do draw overs with characters.
Yes. I love that. This next one is one of the SpongeBob fish. And this way, you guys actually wanted Leafpool to stop being a medicine cat. I thought it was an empty threat. Like, yeah, oopsies. This next one. Oh, this is a mention of when Ivy Paw and Dove Paw notice that Jay Feather gets real pissed off that Thornclaw uses the stick to like get cats out of the mud.
This was a good moment and really is like just want to shout out. We're gonna get a lot more of the Ivy Paw and Dove Paw sister relationship, but this was such a great little sister moment.
So Ivy Paw's like, do you think the heat is getting to Jay Feather? Thornclaw's right, it's only a stick. Dove Paw shrugged. Maybe it's medicine cat stuff. Yeah, but what happens to us if our medicine cat gets bees in his brain? And the person who posted this said, fair question, Ivy Paw. Why not ask everyone who was alive when Goose Feather was fucking around?
Damn, fucking
get his ass.
Get his ass.
This one is an old meme.
This one got me good.
Barry knows, this drought is awful. Where's all the water gone? Dovepaw, who's about to invent beavers. Oh, haven't you heard?
Reminded me to shout out that they call beavers throughout most of this book the brown animals.
Yeah. What a choice.
It was really funny, and it was really funny because I was hearing it a lot in the chapters that I listened to.
No.
So it was just really funny to hear poor McLeod Andrews having to read, like, what about the brown animals?
Oh, interesting. I was wondering, I was like, what the fuck is the deal with beavers? And it turns out beavers have been slowly being reintroduced to the UK. So that would be why the Two Legs are bringing the beavers to the river because they're bringing them back to England. Apparently there's only like 500 beavers in England right now.
Yeah, I was wondering if there even were beavers in England, because I know at this point we got like, I don't think they have mountain lions, so that was why it was like kind of a stretch, like Sharptooth was a stretch thing of where we're kind of like, we're in England, but we're also kind of like, you know, branching out from English wildlife and stuff. So I was wondering if they actually did have beavers. That's interesting.
Yeah, so apparently 400 years ago they were hunted to extinction, and then over the past, I don't know, I think it's been recent though, which is weird. I don't know if how recent the first like reintroduction project was, because there's only like 500 like as of now 2024. But that's an interesting fun fact, because I was like, yeah, how come they hadn't seen any beavers before? And it turns out it's because they didn't really exist. Next we have Petalfur, hydraulic engineer.
Hell yeah, Petalfur.
Somebody called Lion Blaze, Lyin, and that is specifically in reference to the "I wish I were normal" comment.
Yeah, get his ass.
And then I found this other human version of the cats as like kind of medieval-ish fantasy, vaguely fantasy characters. I really liked these designs. I think they're really fun. Dovepaw has like super long, kind of a little bit wild hair. And Lion Blaze is kind of giving Dimitri Fire Emblem.
I hate that you've read me like this, because I saw this art and I was like, oh, I like that design. And then I saw that you said it was like Dimitri Fire Emblem. I was like, God fucking damn it.
Yeah.
That's why I like it. Because I like that horrible man.
I like him too. You know, he not only kills, but he does murder women. I will never be over that fucking meme. Wow, good times.
Shaking him.
And then unfortunately, but unsurprisingly, we had nothing for Mistystar.
Damn, people really
nobody gave a shit.
Nobody gave a shit. Incredible.
But yeah, that's all for sharing tongues. Really not much out there. But I feel like we'll be able to dive more into Dovepaw and Ivypaw stuff as this arc continues, because I know they are popular. I'm really excited about the next book. Oh, I'm stoked. I did not get a chance to read that one, so I'm excited.
I think that we're about to hit the entree of this arc. I think not in that book specific, but like this was just a little appetizer for like what this arc is going to be, and now we're gonna start getting into the meat and potatoes of the thing. Warrior Cat of the Week time.
Indeed.
Tell me of your pick or picks. I picked two, loosely, because I didn't feel that strongly about Mistystar's Omen, but since we read two things, felt like I should pick two. So tell me about yours.
My two. First, honorable mention goes to Tigerheart.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. But my two are Dovepaw and Willowshine.
Ooh.
Dovepaw, because I just think she is a fun protagonist character. I'm very excited to see more of her. I thoroughly enjoyed all of her chapters. And Willowshine, because she just has a nice moment in there of like really sticking up for Mothwing, and I just thought it was nice.
Yeah.
I just think she's a good girl.
She is. I love Willowshine.
Who is your pick?
Mine is we have a common choice. Mine was also Dovepaw for the Fourth Apprentice.
Nice.
I was so happy to see her. I think it is wonderful to have a character here who is who has a power and really would rather not. I think that's such a fun thing to explore. I love her whole deal, and I like her a lot in general, and I love her. We don't get too much of her relationship with her sister in this book, but I really love both of them so much, and I love their relationship, and I'm excited to see more of that. And for Mistystar's Omen, it was Mothwing, because Mothwing was really getting the shit kicked out of her emotionally in that novella, and I felt really bad for her, and she handled it like a champ. She was really being disrespected by Mistystar through that whole thing, and she handled it with aplomb, and so I wanted to give her a little shout out.
Hell yeah. I'm not even like Mothwing's hugest fan, and I was like, all right, Mistystar, you're being a little unfair here.
She was really not nice to Mothwing in this book.
Especially for being their supposed best friends.
Yeah.
Well, that's about all I have this week.
All right. Let us go to the outro then. If you have thoughts, opinions, questions, or memes to share with us, you can write to us at pawsandclawspod@gmail.com. That's paws as in what a cat has, claws as in the part of speech, pod as in podcast. We are also on Twitter and Blue Sky at Paws and Claws, and on Tumblr at Paws Clause Pod. Listeners who are 18 years and older can come join us on Discord, which will be linked in the show notes. We are brought to you by the TWG Podcast Network, which you can find at theworstgarbage.online. You can find me on Twitter, Tumblr, or Blue Sky at HumbleGoat, and you can see the art that I do, including our podcast cover art, at scoutwilkinson.myportfolio.com.
And you can find me on Twitter at plot_twists, on Blue Sky at plot-twists, or on Tumblr at antique-romantic. Our next episode will be out in 2 weeks, where we will discuss Omen of the Stars, Book 2, Fading Echoes, and the novella Ravenpaw's Farewell. Read along by buying the books from a local bookstore or checking out a copy from your local library. Until then, dear listeners, may StarClan guide your paws.
TWG, the worst garbage.online.